That it mistakenly shot down the Ukrainian passenger aircraft that left 176 people dead on January 8, 2020, with a majority being Iranians. A statement by Iran's armed forces said it targeted the plane unintentionally and attributed the crash to radar activity and fear of U.S. action. The Ukrainian government has since refrained its citizens from visiting the region, prohibiting its airline from flying in the airspace of Iran and Iraq.
When the Ukraine International Airlines plane crashed in Tehran on Wednesday morning shortly after takeoff, authorities cited the reason as technical difficulties with the Boeing 737 aircraft. 176 people were killed, majority of whom were Iranians. 3 days later, the Iranian government has gone against its initial stand and has confessed responsibility. Iran says it unintentionally shot down the plane. The announcement was made through the Iran's official news agency, with President Hassan Rouhani stating on social media that he deeply regretted the disastrous mistake, adding that his thoughts and prayers were with the mourning families. Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif also tweeted blaming the human error to U.S. adventurism, which led to the disaster. The Ukrainian Airlines Flight 752 crash came hours after Iran fired missiles at Iraqi military bases housing U.S. troops in retaliation to a drone strike at Baghdad airport that killed Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani. After the missile operation in Iraq, U.S. military flights around Iranian borders increased, and Iranian military officials reported seeing aerial targets coming toward strategic centers. This is according to a statement by Iranian Armed Forces headquarters. The statement further reads, and I quote, "The aircraft came close to a sensitive IRGC military center at an altitude and flight condition that resembled hostile targeting. Under these circumstances, the aircraft was unintentionally hit, which unfortunately resulted in death of the many Iranian and foreign nationals." End of quote. The victims included 82 Iranians, 57 Canadians, 11 Ukrainians, 10 Swedes, 4 Afghans, 3 Germans and 3 British nationals. Iran has invited the United States, Ukraine, Canada and others to join the crash investigation. Ukraine has urged the international community to participate in this, while Canada is reported to have only received 2 Iranian visas for their officials to enter Iran.
I cannot speak for the Iranian government. I think the world is watching the Iranian authorities as to the access they will be providing. As we said, we want a full and complete investigation. That's why the International Coordination and Response Group want to speak with one voice, because not only Canadians want to know in Canada, but you have families across the world, and I would say you have also Iranian families who want to know what really happened on that night.
The majority of passengers on the Ukrainian flight were Iranian-Canadian dual nationals. Mourners in Canada held a vigil for the departed as news of the plane being shot down hit them hard.
This boy is her brother. So that family lost 2 children. And this is her wife. And they were just last year they were married, they got married together. And just for 4 months they were together here.
I'm so sad. So many people, they still don't want to believe what this government is doing to them. They are just closing their eyes. Even if you offer them glasses, they don't want it to see.
The disaster is a grim echo of the 1988 shoot-down of an Iran Air jetliner hit by a missile from a U.S. Navy ship. All 290 people on board were killed.